Well, good evening, motorsports fans. Normally we would say truck and tractor pull fans, but we don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight for truck and tractor pulling. So we'll just leave it. How about dirt drag fans? I guess that would be a better idea for tonight's show. But as always, we have Kendra, our co-host. How are you, Kendra?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, one of the days. You know how it is.
Been a great day.
You know how it is when it comes to computers and JR and
Yes.
show night. So, and
Hey, it
also,
all worked out. All worked out in the end.
yeah, so far so good. But we got some things to work on again. But we'll fix that out. And we also got Chet Price along with us here, and he is with Generation Motorsports, which is a diesel truck drag racing promotions company, and we got a show coming this Saturday night at 5:30 p.m. If you read the scroller at the bottom of the screen there, below our lovely faces, if you will, we have the information there for you: start time, the address to get to the event, and we want everybody to come out. I mean, they had a pool there last weekend, and it sounds like it's a pretty good little facility. It sounds like the track's going to be pretty good. But we do have Chet here, and we got plenty of questions for him. And as always, Chris Smith's with us.
Yeah.
And we want to ask you to like, subscribe, share, give us thumbs up, and please come on if you have any questions for Chet. Visit the website. The website information's on there. His Facebook information's on there as well. So we got some questions for him. If you have some, just come on and ask. And where did he go? Is he still here? Chet.
Yep, I'm still here.
There
Thanks
he
for
is.
having me.
How are you, Chet?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to be here.
Okay.
Excited for this weekend.
Absolutely. I was talking with Kendra a few days ago about the weather, and I said, "Yeah, they're calling for rain Saturday." She says, "It's too early to worry about the weather." And she was right. That rain actually has changed till next Tuesday, I guess. So sounds like we're going to have a cool but nice day on Saturday. So
Yeah, I'd recommend, bringing a sweatshirt and a blanket, but that cool air is going to make the trucks run really good. So we're
but
excited.
you know what? It beats standing there sweating to death.
Yep.
I'll tell you, man. I love this time of year. I love the cooler weather. But so tell us, who is Chet? What's Chet do, and how did Chet get involved with this Generation Motorsports?
Oh man, so there's a lot there. I mean, I'm Chet Price. I'm 29 years old. Um, Married. Uh, I don't know exactly how, we got into dirt drags. I honestly don't even remember. Um, I love to tinker, and uh, next thing you know, I had a drag racing tree that I built in my basement. Next thing you know, we're playing in the fields, and then we start hearing things about races going on, all over the East Coast. And before you know it, and I believe 2015, we started helping some other events with the light that I built. And then in 2017, we put on our first race, and it's been uphill ever since. I mean, we've grown, um, got a pretty good following, and we're enjoying it.
That's great. Yeah, that's I guess on average, how many trucks do you get? I mean, do you race just like one class? Is it just street diesel, or do you?
Yes. So we go to a lot of races to spectate and race in, and other places that do classes. It's kind of like tractor pulling, well, maybe not. It's hard to tech sometimes, how do you tell if it's a stock turbo or if they modified it on the inside, or so rather than deal with those arguments, we just say one class, run what you brung.
There you go. Yep.
We do have some safety rules. Actually, we have a lot of safety rules, but yep, it's run what you brung.
Now you
Okay.
do have a rule that it has to be a registered vehicle, though, right? So it does have to be at some point street legal, correct?
Yep, yeah, it is a street class, so you have to be registered, have insurance, um, and of course license for the driver and other things like that. Oh, and we also don't allow nitrous,
Okay.
but that's pretty much the only performance restriction that we have.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, definitely on the rules end. I've kind of preached that. In fact, they've even brought that up for um, basically keystone for our diesel truck class pulling air. You know, that's the additional teching. Yeah, and it's not to point fingers at a diesel truck or a gas, you know, anybody running turbos or whatever, but it does. It can get out of hand, you know. And what I mean by that is time teching. You know, when you're on a tight schedule indoors like that, I'm going to suggest it again after we meet. We're actually going to meet here soon for that. Hopefully, we'll have some kind of planning and schedule to get going for a show for 2021. But I want to bring up that basically run what you brung, or you know, like a super stock diesel class that opens it to everybody, and it really eliminates all the, you know, the hoopla, so to speak. You know, I mean, when I say hoopla, I mean all the, well, this guy's turbo's this, blah blah blah. You know, run what you brung. That's it is an idea.
Diesel truck guys.
Right. Are you picking on Norm again? Is what you're doing?
I'm picking on all of them at this point.
But it's just something to think about, and I've brought it up a couple times. But you know, we'll see. But anyway, how many trucks do you usually get on average? I mean, I know this year's, you know, in COVID stuff, some people come out, some don't. I'm sure by now people have been cooped up long enough, and they want to come race, do whatever. So, how many do you think?
Yes. So we usually average between, I think the fewest we've ever had is 47. Probably the most we've ever had is right around 70. And we're expecting, you know, at minimum the average. With COVID, it's kind of weird, you know. Some people are scared and don't want to do anything, but as many people as you have that way, you have just as many who are itching to get out, itching to race, and really want to go. So we're expecting big things. You know, we're gonna have a good show.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I noticed some of our pullers with the East Coast, who are normally there every pull that their class is scheduled, actually took the year off. You know, I guess, you know, just with really not. We did have a small points system. I don't want to get into talking about pulling tonight, but it's just, you know, the COVID thing just kept a lot of people home this summer. So not a lot, but some.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you look at Snyder County, some of the shows they had, and it's like, man, over 100 and some entries. It's crazy, which is good. I mean, it made for great shows. But yeah, well, okay, that's good. So it's basically a run what you brung. Okay, so that could really, wow.
Yeah, we'll with those rules, we'll probably have between 6 and 10,000 plus horsepower trucks there.
Oh yeah.
You know, multiple turbos, you know, real race setups.
Yeah, and it doesn't deter, I guess, the more streetable trucks from not showing up. I guess they just want to come and race and have fun. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we haven't even really talked about the race itself. The race is only 200 feet, so it's we're basically doing the same thing that the drag strip does, just a lot shorter and on dirt. And you know, in the quarter mile, the fastest car is going to win, but in 200 feet,
that's very true.
If you're not snappy on that light, you don't have time to chase them down. So, I can honestly say we've done probably 7 or 8 races, and the fastest truck has never won. You know, you watch the practice round and watch the first round, and you say that truck right there, that's the fastest one. I think he's going to win, and they always end up sleeping on the light, or you know, red lighting, or and
it's like a mental.
If you're a good driver, if you're a good driver with a stock truck with a tune on it, you can make it pretty far.
It's just like a quarter mile drag race. I mean, you know, you still get a stagger start light, but you know, a guy that's got the slower, you know, dial in time, if he's on the money, I mean, you got to run him down, and you know, you got to get him. So you got to be careful. But that's true. That's very good information on a 200-foot track. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference, actually. So, but where all have you done events so far?
So we are mostly run our events out of the Washington County Ag Exposition Center, or the Ag Education Center, sorry, in Boonesboro. That's our local track. It's 5 minutes from home. It's real easy to do, and we've, you know, had a great time working with them. But they're shut down because of COVID this year. So
Yeah.
just by chance, we ended up getting in contact with the Needmore Volunteer Fire Company, who has a great facility there. We've also done races in Shippensburg with the Shippensburg Tractor Pull Club, and then also in Shade Gap. We've done some races up there before.
So now, I mean, I know you put the show on. If you were say like a fairgrounds or a fair, an actual fair, were to call you and say, "Hey, we'd like to have a night of drag racing," is that a show that you sell or?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's been easy for us to stick with our local county fair and our local fairgrounds just because it's so close. But yep, we're always looking for
Okay.
more opportunities to put on races.
Okay. That's something to keep in mind. Fairs.
Yes.
And I will say this as the very proud cousin over here. At last year's Ag Fair, Chet's event was actually one of the biggest nights the fair had, if not bigger.
Yeah, my
Um,
understanding was we were the biggest night of the fair.
yeah, so
Okay.
people definitely want to come out and watch drag racing. And as one of Pulling's biggest fans, drag racing keeps my attention just as much as a pull.
Yeah.
It is a really good show.
Especially if you're standing behind a video camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how fast you run them through, but I know some of the places I have done here locally. Uh, it's I guess there's not such a thing as too quick, but sometimes it's a little fast, you know. But
Yeah,
you know,
well, a 60 truck field will end up being almost 100 races,
sure.
and we'll do 100 races in 2.5 hours
Okay.
to 3 hours.
Yeah. Obviously, you know your track's going to be clear before you get the next two up to the line, you know, to go
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah. I know I think Buck's a little shorter. They don't race. They don't race quite. I don't remember how far they do, but it just seems like they're because they're always in a hurry because they got pulling event going on too. And I mean, it's good and it's fun, but it's just really I don't know. It's just like it's like you can just tell maybe it's a little too rushed through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's still still fun.
Yep.
And you also have to give the racers time for their trucks to cool down. Because you
Yeah.
figure, when you get down to top 8, top 4, top 2, you're running back to back. And like Chet said, these are 1,000 horsepower engines. They need time to cool down just like
Oh yeah.
the pulling engines do. So you do have to allow that for the racers too, because you want your racers to keep coming back.
Yep. And
Absolutely.
we also do it a little differently than some of the other dirt drag events. We actually set up a bracket. Um, Now the seeding is random. At a drag strip, the fastest qualifier would get paired with the slowest. We just do our seeding random, but we do have a set order for every round. So um, at the first round, we'll get it down to a perfect 32 or a perfect 64,
Hmm.
um, and move on from there. So we'll have a 10-minute break between each round because we need to get the trucks shuffled back around and get the right guys back up front, and stuff like that. So
And I'm sure there's going to be some track prep in between.
yep.
I mean, that was,
And Chet, you do a practice round, correct? Like everybody gets to see the light before, it's go time, right?
Yep, everybody gets to line up, see the light, race down the track at least one time before we get to the races that count.
okay. That's great. That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great time. I mean, it's going to. I mean, cooler weather. That's definitely going to make a little more ponies too. So, I mean, you may have already answered this, and I apologize if you did. But as far as what encouraged you to actually start your own, I know you said you like to tinker and everything. I mean, did somebody come to you and say, "Hey, we want to do drag racing"? Or is this something? I mean, you said you drag race as well. When did you start drag racing?
Yeah, so well, I guess I'll link it to the name Generation Motorsports. Uh, my as Kendra and as we talked about just a few minutes ago before the show started, her dad and my dad had a pulling tractor for many years. Our grandfathers had pulling tractors for a long time. Hearing them, I distinctly remember, as a little kid, hearing them talk stories about pulling tractors. So motorsports has just kind of always been in our blood. So that's where the name Generation Motorsports came from. It's a generational thing. Um, uh, we did, I guess, I can't even think when we did get approached to help with a race a long time ago, probably almost 10 years ago, and that probably started the bug. Um, and we have a family project. We have an excursion that I help tinker with that all my brothers work on, and it gets raced too. You'll actually see that this weekend with one of my brothers racing it. Um, so yeah, I can't really give you a specific time when it all started. It's just kind of slowly morphed into what it is today.
Well,
I
that's
think it's one of those things, kind of like a lot of pulling organizations get started. You see a need, you see an area where you could excel, and with our family and our support system, Chet is very lucky. He's got three brothers and a sister and lots of friends, and he's like, you know what, I can do this. It's just like a lot of other pulling splays.
Oh
Chet's
yeah, I'd
Chet's
say
very good with engineering things. Like he said, he built the light, so I think it just kind of came natural.
yeah. You nailed it. We did kind of fall into a place. We saw other people doing it and saw an opportunity, um, and saw ways to, not that anybody else was doing it wrong, but saw ways that we thought we could do it better, and yeah, just kind of jumped in. And before I forget, I just have to thank every single person that helps. Like Kendra said, my entire family. This is all done, with our friends. So if you see anybody with Generation Motorsports shirt on this week, tell them thank you for putting it on, because we really couldn't do it without them. Uh, I try to take care of my help as much as I can, but they'll never understand how grateful we are for everything they do for us.
yeah, good help is very hard to find. Um,
Yep.
it's and it's the same way. It's like a niche, really, is what it is. You fell into a niche, and I kind of like 20 some years ago, as far as the filming thing goes. Uh, I just was filming stuff. I was actually buying videos from the Buck from mid '90s, I guess. They had a lady there that filmed, and I used to every now and then I'd buy VCR tape there, and then I met Ted Coverdale, Ted's Pulling Tapes, and was buying stuff from him, and I'm like, you know what? This is nuts. I said, I got an old VCR camera used to sit up on your shoulder, and I said, I'm going to start shooting my own stuff just to bring home and watch. And it's what we did. And neighbor at the house that I used to have in Pennsylvania said, I'd like to borrow some of them and watch them. I said, all right, they're just, I didn't really care about them. And he brought them back a month and a half, 2 months later, and he said, you ought to really try to sell these. They're pretty good. I said, really? He goes, absolutely. Boom. It was just a little niche. It just took off, and that's kind of like, and I'm sure that's basically what you have. Uh, you know, not everybody does it. Not everybody promotes diesel drags, and
Hmm.
it's a great opportunity to take it and run and expand with it. So, I mean, you built your own equipment to do the job. Um, Not that I know a lot of diesel drag racers, but I've heard zero complaints, you know, to do with anything you guys have done. So,
Hmm.
that tells me you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So, that's
And,
good.
and diesel drag racing is gaining popularity
Crazy. It is.
everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. And now's the time to fly with it, man. If, I mean, you got a career and everything, it's probably hard to spend a whole lot of time,
Yep.
but don't be surprised if you get super busy,
Yeah.
because it will happen for sure. And usually, I noticed with the drag racing in, you start getting into dyno. People, well, why don't we just bring a dyno in for a day? And next thing you know, it's a 2 day, it's an old weekend thing. You got a dyno there 2 days. Well, we might as well rent a sled. We'll do some diesel truck pulling too. Your time's coming. I guarantee you're gonna be a
Uh-huh.
full fledged dyno drag racing and pulling
We
event. It's coming.
we have had that conversation many,
Yep.
many
Yep.
times. But it's a balance. How
Yep.
big a bite do we want to take, and
Right.
and how can we how can we stay true to to our dirt drag race
Sure.
and our dirt drag you know where we started. But yes, we have talked about that many times. I'm
You
sure
bet.
it's not too far in the future.
Yeah, and it's expense, insurance, sled cost, et cetera, et cetera. But
Hmm.
I see people do it, and man, some shows are really big,
Yep.
really big. So as long as you got the facility, and I'm excited to go check this one out. I looked on a map, and I'm looking. Yes, Kendra, I did Google Map. If I've never been to a place, I know the area,
Uh-huh.
but from being in McConnellsburg and everything, but I'm looking on this Google map and I'm like, I don't see a track at the firehouse. I'm looking, look. She goes, well, it's new, so they just put it in. It's probably not on the map. Well, then that's when I asked you what the address was, and I said, ooh, that's not at the firehouse. That's a little different.
Yep.
So,
It's the volunteer fire company bought 100 acres of ground, and with the main goal of turning it into a motorsports park. So
yep.
we're excited for this to be our first time, but it sounds like I'm sure you'll be up there again at a tractor pull because they're planning on doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we had, and that's something I probably should have opened the show with. We had spoke last week, Kendra and I, that we were both headed to Easton, Maryland this past Saturday. They got a pretty good amount of rain on Friday, which pretty much ruined any chance of getting anything in and pitted in the pits down there. They ended up canceling Saturday show. That's why we don't have any information from the Eastern Maryland event. So, yeah, it's the pulling. You'll be doing it, I'm sure of that. But as far as the pool goes, there, I wish I'd have been a little quicker in thinking about going out there this past Saturday once Easton was canceled. But I had some other stuff to get done here, and that takes precedence sometimes. So, but we will definitely be there Saturday, that's for sure.
So, Chet, I have a question that came through via text. On your Facebook page, there's a lot of WTA challenge and WTA this, WTA that. What does your WTA challenge look like?
Yeah. So WTA Challenge is what we've named our race or our races, and it basically stands for Winner Take All Challenge. Um, this particular race pays $1,000 to win, and it's winner take all. You either take it all home, or second place don't get you nothing. And we've just kind of stuck with that from the beginning. WTA Challenge.
Okay,
That's where that comes from.
that's exciting, actually.
Yeah, because like Chet
second
said,
place
it's
means
not
nothing.
always. Yeah, and like Chet said earlier, it's not always the fastest truck that wins. Actually, it
Yep.
hardly ever is the fastest truck that wins.
Yep.
Yeah, it's usually well, it takes a good combination, just like drag racing
Mhm.
at the
Hmm.
track here. You got to have a good vehicle, but you better know what you're doing with that vehicle, and you got to know the tree.
Yep.
So you got to know what you're doing. Experience usually is going to be the victor. I've seen you've seen it. Like I told you, a slower car. With the step light, as I've always called it, and I've seen more than one go home on a Sunday from up here at Cecil County Dragway with the win. They were nowhere
Mhm.
near the
Hmm.
fastest car, but they knew the dial in, they knew the car, and they're just slick. Very good drivers.
Yep.
So that's what
So
it takes.
that's something to bring up before we get too far. All our races are heads up, so there's no it's not a dial in time or anything like that. It's heads up racing, um, and we run on a 4/10 pro tree, which will mean something to some people and other people not. But that's how we have it set up.
Say, well, why don't you talk a little bit about your light and your
Hmm.
laser system and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it's just like at the drag strip. Basically, we have pre-staging lasers, and then approximately 10 inches after that is staging lasers. So the idea is a truck will pull up, and they'll hit the first pre-stage, and then the other truck will pull up, so they'll both have a bulb lit, and then they can both boost up the truck, get ready to rip, and then they'll pull into the second stage, and then once both trucks are fully staged, so once both trucks have two lights lit, um, then the tree will go off, and then it's a race to the finish. It's all it's all computerized. It's all lasers. There is lasers to tell if they jumped, if they leave too early before green. And then we also have lasers at the finish line too. So there's we quickly learned that even a good video camera has a hard time seeing
Right.
an inch at 60 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we built lasers for the finish line too.
And your fans can even see the lights, right? So, the fans won't be completely lost sitting up on the hill or anything.
Yep, exactly. So the front of the light and the back of the light both show the staging beams or the staging bulbs. It shows the 4/10 lights, and then it also shows the green. And then same with the finish line. The finish line lights show front, side, back, top. It lights everything up to let you know who won. So everybody in the crowd knows what's going on at all times.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's an announcer to just kind of announce names real quick and stuff. Who's racing who?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll have names, where they're from. Some of their trucks even have, they even have nicknames for their trucks, just like the tractor pullers do. We got the Gray Ghost, or the Grocery Getter, or the Red Rocket, or we got all kinds of trucks.
Very good. What do you think? It's mostly, I'm sure GM is pretty heavily involved in racing. I know on the street they're pretty quick.
Let's see here. I think we've had 3 Duramax winners, so Chevrolet and GM, and then we've had 4 Cummins winners. I don't think we've ever had a Ford win. But yeah, the Dodge and Cummins will be the highest represented this weekend, and then probably Duramaxes and Chevys and GMs will be next, and then Fords will probably be last. But don't count them out, because there are some fast Fords that come and run around with us.
I have seen them at the Buck. Name slipped me. But I know there was a couple of trucks that were usually right around top 1, 2 by the end of the night that were Ford trucks. And they were quick.
Mm-hmm.
They were quick. They were no slouches. So yeah, absolutely. All 3 have a great chance.
Yep.
Just like pulling. I mean, you never know until it's over. So.
Yep, and we'll see anything from, there'll be some 30-year-old trucks out there that will run really good, and then there'll also be 2017, 2018, 2019 trucks. We'll have 30 years old to brand new all out there on the track together, putting on a show.
That's neat. That's cool. Give you a different look.
Yep.
Have you ever raced gas trucks any, or just not had an interest in it, or?
Yeah, so we have had gas trucks before, and I'm not trying to belittle anyone's truck, but we try to stay away from the Ford Rangers and the S10s, and we want we want to keep a pretty good caliber of truck, and sometimes we have a hard time finding that. So yes, we have had gas trucks. We will have gas trucks in the future, but we won't have them for this race.
Okay.
When you have a gas truck that runs really good, they just blow the diesels out of the water, and so that's why we don't run them together.
Oh no, I would never. No, I figured it'd be a separate class, gas class versus on their own, and diesels and different classes. I see Mike Walker put a Ricky Bobby thing on the chat. It says, if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
Yep, that's what we live by here. You got to win to get the money.
Now that's something that would be interesting. To build a roundy round track and do some circle track diesel truck racing. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh man,
I remember when they started. It's probably a little before y'all's time, but when semis started circle track racing on asphalt.
Oh boy,
that was really cool. I don't know if you've seen them do that, but they don't. I don't think they do it at all anymore, really. But that was pretty hot there for a while. It was a pretty neat deal.
Actually, I think they still do.
They may. I haven't seen a good semi race probably since I was a kid, so I ain't gonna tell you how long ago that was, but it's been a while. It's been a while, but it was pretty neat. But that's something else to think about.
Yeah, that's true. That's one that we have not talked about yet.
Just stick around. We'll be making some money, buddy. I'm just kidding. But it would be neat to see, for sure.
Yeah.
But my goodness,
Yeah. Well,
I could
before I
see
forget,
I could see some
um,
expensive trucks getting tore up though.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
To anybody that watches, pretty much the only requirement is registered, insured, and the truck has to be diesel. So um, don't think that you can't have a good time. Come on out, race. It's addicting, and maybe the first time you line at the light, you'll be going home buying some more parts because you want to go faster. That's usually how it works out.
Yeah, and practice Christmas tree. They have a way to do that now. You could,
Yep,
man. Once you conquer the tree, man, you're gonna be tough to beat.
Well, I'm
exactly.
sure
Yeah,
there's an app out there for it too.
yeah.
Like you can get a little fake app to put on your dash or something.
Oh boy, I can see it now. Stoplight to stoplight.
Uh-huh.
But
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
yeah, yeah, and just once again, no nitrous.
Yep,
No,
no
no,
nitrates.
no. Yeah, no enhancements. No performance enhancements like nitrous.
Boost only.
Yep, boost on it.
Chet, do you have a list of your sponsors there? I know you have a bunch of sponsors that keep following you race to race. Do you want to give them a shout out or?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna have to pull them up here real quick, but I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
doggone it. I wish we'd have known that. We could have listed them here on the scroller. I didn't even think of that. Sorry
I
about that.
just thought about it.
Yep. So I'll
Yeah,
run through them real
yeah.
quick.
Take your time. Take your time. Read them off, and
So we have two big sponsors for this race. Excuse me. We have Stevens Excavating and Mid Maryland Truck and Tractor. They're both local here to Hagerstown, but they've both supported us for a long time. Mid Maryland's been with us from the beginning. Um, they'll both have a lane of the track, so you'll be hearing their name a lot if you come down. If the right lanes wins, it'll be the Stevens Excavating lane. If the left lane wins, it'll be the Mid Maryland Truck and Tractor lane. So uh, yeah, we're very thankful for them. Um, we have Twig Cycles, CG Diesel Performance, Don Spickler Insurance, Nutter's Ice Cream. If you're ever in Sharpsburg and you don't stop at Nutter's Ice Cream, then I don't think we can be friends.
oh
Um,
yeah. Now, hold on.
uh-huh.
I got to stop you here because I have to admit I'm a big peanut butter ice cream freak here. So
Oh,
Well,
you have to go to Nutters.
yep.
Have to.
okay.
Next time you come down to Boonesboro, it's like a 7-minute drive.
Okay. Sounds like
Yep,
a
it
plan.
is a must.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's cheap. Bring your cash because
Ah,
they only take cash. It's like an
Nick,
old school little ice cream stand.
when it
Hole in the
comes
wall. Yep.
when it comes to good peanut butter ice cream, I don't care about cost.
Yep.
Yep. So we also have Antietam Excavating, Moser's Repair and Performance, Antrim Diesel. I'm sure that's a common name for a lot of people
But
listening
yeah.
here. Um, M&M Electric Motor Repair, Eddie's Upholstery, Captain Bender's Tavern. That's another Sharpsburg sponsor. D&D Truck Repair and Towing, Rhodes Welding and Metalworks, Reynolds Unlimited here in Sharpsburg or in Hagerstown is hooking us up with the lighting for the weekend. Tim Fraker Signs. You'll see all of the banners that we have are made by Tim Fraker. He's been a sponsor from the beginning, and then also Move It Fabrication and Welding. It's Matt Clever. He's a new sponsor for this year, so we're excited to have them all.
Man.
I give our sponsors um, just as much credit as I give my help. Like we could not do without them. They all are great to us. They love racing. They always like to come to the shows and support the people that support what you love. That's what I like to say. So give those people a follow on social media if you can find them. Support their business any way you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw a sign one time that says, Amazon doesn't support your kids' little league team, support local. And it's the same thing that applies in motorsports. The big box
Yep.
stores, they don't support us. Go out and support your small businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's quite a list of sponsors. That's great.
Yep. Yep. We're very excited. We have it has been not easy, but there's been no shortage of people that support us and what we're doing. So we're very blessed to have that.
Yeah. Very fortunate. Yeah. So, I mean, do you ever get a chance to race much, or you just let the brothers take the wheel? Being you're, it sounds like you're more or less promoting more so than maybe driving, if it is a Generation Motorsports event.
Yeah, usually I never get to race at our races. Usually about once a year. At the end of the year, once all our races are wrapped up, they'll let me jump in the seat for for a rip. Um, and it's a good time, but nah, it doesn't happen too often.
And his brothers will be sure to tell him that he doesn't drive as well as he promotes.
Exactly, exactly.
So, is he like the youngest one of the brothers, or
No,
I'm
Chet's
the
the
oldest.
oldest.
you're the oldest, and you let them
Yep, they
youngins beat
still
up on you? Oh boy.
they still tell me what I did wrong. You didn't go fast enough. You didn't boost enough. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Yeah,
Didn't turn the water on, didn't do
yeah.
this.
Mhm.
Ooh, ooh, that's funny.
Getting old, you're getting forgetful.
Exactly.
So I guess let's discuss a little bit about the grounds there that we're going to be at. You mentioned a few things. I mean, I look at it on the map and I'm like, wow, this is out in the middle of, could be nowhere, but it doesn't look like it's that far out of Needmore, I guess. So I mean, it is Needmore, but it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, maybe, or
Yeah, so it's probably about 10 minutes outside of, the town of Needmore. It's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes north of Hancock, Maryland.
okay.
Um, you uh, Google Maps will take, or your phone GPS will take you right there. We've used it multiple times, haven't had any problems with that. And you'll basically pull off the road into a 100-acre field.
Wow.
Um, Parking will be the whole first part of the grounds. They'll have separate parking for race truck parking, trailer parking, and then spectator parking. You'll walk to the back of the facility, and they actually have 1,000-foot track, leveled, graded. We won't be using that. The tractor pullers won't be using that, but it's there. If somebody wants to have 1,000-foot tractor pull, they can do it. Um,
Mm-mm.
uh, the fire company's going to have a food stand up. Um, and also as a reminder, there is no bleacher seating. Bring blankets, bring chairs, bring something to sit on. There's a decent hill, but you're definitely gonna want a little something for your bottom
Mm.
instead of sitting on the ground all night.
Some of us won't get the set.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll keep Kendra moving back and forth a good bit.
Yeah. No, I'm just a spectator.
You want to bet?
Yeah, I know. Family obligation.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right. Yeah, that's great. So you will have lighting there. Is it? I guess is it pretty flat, or I'm sure it is.
yeah, like I said, the pit side of the track is decently flat, and then it's just a steady, gradual hill on the spectator side of the track.
Oh,
So
cool.
just enough to get you up, so you can see over the people in front of you, but nothing too crazy. You can sit in a chair, and yeah, you'll be able
Yeah,
to see just
not
fine.
tip forward or nothing.
Nope,
That's
nope,
cool.
you ain't gonna fall
That's
forward.
kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of elevated like that, kind of like bleacher seating. That's good.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great, man.
And I keep giving shout outs, but the Needmore Volunteer Fire Company has
Hmm.
been nothing but helpful. Letting us do this here. If you see them, see somebody with a Needmore shirt on, tell them thank you, because uh, there's going to be lots more races and tractor pulls to come, and none of them are possible without those guys.
That's exactly correct. And I want to bring up some of their information here real quick. You'd sent me an email.
I'm not sure who Tool Brothers is, but they have to be a Price family member. If not, they're one of us. It's 2020, get AirPods. That sure sounds like a Price boy right there.
Spill the beans. Here we go.
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
Whoa.
So,
Yeah, so I did link you
Yeah.
it's called the Needmore Volunteer Fire Activities Grounds. They have a Facebook page. They
Mhm.
will keep you up to date there with all of the events that they have going on. Like we said, tractor pulls, dirt drags. They also do four-wheeler races. Um, Next year is going to be an action-packed year for that facility.
Yeah, sounds like they're just beginning, obviously. So yeah, that's a Needmore Volunteer Fire Company Activities Ground. Um, of course, it's a racetrack, and that's on Facebook. Uh, I don't know if they have a website address or not, but anyway, yeah, definitely check them out too on Facebook and give them a like. Follow them and look for some more events here in the future. Keep those guys rolling right along. So, what do you think for 2021? I mean, we don't know if we're going to be set free or. I mean, is there some good goals that you have in mind? Obviously, you don't know how many events you'll have, depending on who calls and needs events. But I will certainly get your name out around. I mean, we're 2 hours east of you here.
Hmm.
I mean, is that
Yeah.
something that's kind of out of your realm? You wouldn't want to go that far, or
Um,
everybody
that's
has
a
their
really good
limits.
question. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. So, honestly, this weekend's going to be a test because this will be the farthest away race that we've done. So as long as we have our ducks in a row, I think it'll open up, more opportunities for us and kind of break us out of our shell for doing more races.
Okay.
But I do know my goal is to do four races next year. In 2019, we were able to do three races, and that works out really well. We do winner take all uh, money for each individual race, but then we also did a point system and kept points for the drivers. So that was a lot of fun. Um, you know, uh, Guys that even though they didn't get the win, were still in the running for the points the whole year, and we did $1,000 payout for the points winner as well.
Oh, good.
Um, yeah, so our goal is for COVID to disappear, and we want to have a good season of racing next year.
Yeah, that's good. You take care of your racers. They'll take care of you. And
Yep,
not sure points are issued via if you win around, you get X amount of points. I'm sure it's usually how it's.
exactly.
Okay, that's great.
Now, did your series, like your point series winner, was that one of your previous winners or was it somebody different? Like, how did
It,
that all line up?
it was the points winner won the very first race that we had, but he didn't win the second one. And we were keeping track in real time at the last race. Uh, it was the Justin Duffy is his name. Driving he has a Chevy Duramax. Him and Jason Duncan, who has a second gen Cummins. Jason did not win any of the races, but they were neck and neck in points up until probably the semifinal round of the last race, and Jason got kicked out. So Justin took the points.
That's
Mike
interesting.
just brought up a good question. What is the
Yeah,
cost
it's
to get into the event?
Oh, okay, yeah. It's $10 for spectators. 12 and under are free. So bring the whole family. It's not gonna cost you a ton. And then if you want to race, Mike, it's $25 to
uh,
race.
now I'm getting ready to hit Mike up for something else. He's not going to be racing. What you doing Saturday, buddy? I need a second cameraman.
Something else, Chet, time. I know that you like to check your trucks and, check their registrations and all that. What time do racers need to be there and what time do your spectators need to be there by?
Yep. So the show is going to kick off at 5:30 p.m. Um, Tech or registration will close at 4:30 p.m. So if you're a driver and you want to come down, you've got to be there before 4:30. Like Kendra said, we tech all of our trucks. We check your insurance. We check your registration. We check you for nitrous. We check your safety equipment, which is basically seatbelt, airbag, stuff like that. So we need time to do all that. We need time to set up the race bracket, and we need time to show all the drivers the track, show them the light, and have all that prepared for 5:30 when it's go time.
And I'm sure there will be a separate entrance for the competitor trucks to pull in, correct? Or will they
So
all come in the same area?
they'll all come in the same area, and the people at the gate will split you off. The drivers will go one direction, and the spectators to park will go another direction.
Good.
So I'm trying to think of like all the questions that people would have,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm
especially
actually
with it
going
being
through
the
stuff
new
now.
facility. Yeah.
Yeah, with the new facility, but I figure as long as you got some organization, good parking, and food, you'll be successful. So
Yeah.
gotta have food.
Yeah, where's Davy B at? There's no, where's the good food at? So,
I didn't see Davy B tonight. I understand
yeah, I haven't seen him yet.
he was in Easton, Maryland, and we won't say nothing. Sorry, Davy. We tried. I was just as disappointed as anybody to get that phone call. So.
Yeah.
Also, one of our rules is if you're driving an older truck without an airbag, you do have to wear a helmet. We don't require helmets if you have an airbag, but if you want to drive and you don't have an airbag, you got to bring a helmet.
Okay.
That's a very good rule to have.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought everybody would have to have a helmet. Okay.
Some people require it. Our insurance does not require it, and I just kind of look at it as the airbag was designed for you not to have a helmet on. So
True. That's true. Yeah.
And these trucks get to moving, but not quite as fast as they would, like, say, on a quarter mile or anything like that, too. So,
I mean, they'll
yeah,
move along
we
pretty good. What, 60 mile an hour and 200 feet, I'd say at least.
yep, we generally
Yeah.
see 50 to 60 mile an hour. And like I said, we've been blessed. We haven't had any issues. We always allow plenty of shutdown area. Um, everybody understands it's not worth putting a truck into the wall, get out of it.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, we always make sure to have plenty of runoff area.
and I think somebody said this track is like 800 feet long or something, so you will have no issues
Yep,
at
yep,
all
they
with
have a very good system up there.
Good. Very good. Okay. Well, we got the
So
weather
I'm
for it, so
trying.
it sounds like we're going to be pretty good shape for a decent show Saturday. Hopefully, we get plenty of racers there and have at it.
Yep,
Plenty
we're
of
getting
Are we forgetting something?
getting lots of interest on Facebook and Instagram, so we're excited about that. It's shaping up to be a good one.
Yeah, I'll be sharing the heck out of this. The stuff you sent me in the email earlier this evening. I'll take those links and I'll find them on Facebook, and we'll definitely start sharing around on the pages and news stories and stuff like that. So we'll start
Chet,
pushing the heck out of it. Yeah.
what did you say the prize was for winning this race?
It's $1,000 to win, winner take all. So $25 to race, and you got a chance to win $1,000.
Good deal.
I don't own a diesel, dang it.
I'm going to put a diesel in the Jeep. Come out there and beat all of them.
You won't even get it dirty. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the only time I get it dirty is when Chet or one of his brothers is driving it.
But anyway, we just want to reiterate that is coming this Saturday, October 24th, at
5:30 p.m.
Yep, 5:30 p.m. at the Needmore Volunteer Fire Company Activities Grounds, and that's the scrolls on the screen below us at 994 North Foster Road, Needmore, Pennsylvania. And it is $10 for adults. Spectators, what did we say? 12 and under is free.
12 and under is free.
12 and under is free, and racers it is $25, and winner take all for $1,000.
Chet, yep. If there's any questions we did not get answered on here, where do you want people to direct their questions to? Like your Facebook page, your email? Where would you like those to go?
Yep. Excuse me. Hit us up on our Facebook page or Instagram if you prefer that. We're very active and we'll be able to see that and get in contact with you. JR has our website on the screen, so if you go to generationmotorsports.com, all our rules are there. with more information as well as links to all our social media.
And that's another thing.
And if they have questions,
go ahead.
Go ahead, JR.
Well, I was just going to
I was
say.
going to say if they have questions. If they have questions day of, Chet, I know in previous times all of your help wore blue shirts. Is that going to be the same at this event, or should
Um,
they just direct to the Facebook page?
you can still yes, send a message to the Facebook page. We do have cell phone service up there. Um, our help will either have blue Generation Motorsports shirts on, or they will have Generation Motorsports hoodies. We just ordered a bunch of hoodies. We're not going to roll them out until after the race. So if somebody's wearing a Generation Motorsports hoodie on, you can ask them the questions.
There you go.
Good.
All
Now,
right, so JR, your turn now.
Okay, thank you. Why don't we just go over real quick? I read over some of your rules, and I think this is a good time to maybe discuss when the competitors are on the grounds. I've seen you had some pretty strict rules which you need to have, what you should not do with your actual race truck, such as maybe doing a whole shot somewhere, or, when it's not on the track. You want to go over some things there that you have some pretty strict rules to abide by for people's safety.
Yeah, so I mean, it basically comes down to use common sense. When you're in the pits, we don't want any revving up, no spinning tires, just like you said there, no boosting up and launching in the pits. The dirt drag scene has been very fortunate to not have any accidents, and we want to keep it that way. So we're basically running a zero tolerance policy. Um, if you're goofing off or doing something dumb, you're out. We're not gonna stand for it. Another really big rule that we have, that's during the race. You stage, you line up, you race, you cross the finish line, and then at the end of the track, um, so 500 feet away from the starting line, we will have a line painted on the ground, and it's our stop line. You must come to a complete stop. You have to wait until the people at the end of the track tell you to go. Um, you know, we I know people get irritated. Some people are hotheads, but we're not going to tolerate you flying down the track and flying out through the pits and never stopping and just slamming the truck on the trailer. And we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Poor race is over.
Poor
you come to a
sportsmanship.
complete stop.
Yeah. No
Yep,
poor
yep,
sportsmanship. Yeah.
yep. And we have thrown people out for it before, and we're not afraid to do it again.
Yeah, Chet, you have to. I mean, I see it.
Yep.
I see it in pulling. And I'm not saying it's not the, how can I word this without pissing anybody off? Not the upper echelon pullers, if you will, but the step down towards like street stuff. Yeah, I mean, everybody gets anxious and they get mad. They get
Yep.
mad. I've seen people, get in their truck to leave and do donuts, PO'd,
Yep.
and peel off out of there. And, fortunately, nobody gets run over. But, and I see it happen. So hopefully, just keep a cool head about yourself. Think
And
about
one more thing, because it happens every race as well for you Chevy and Duramax guys. You gotta have tie rod sleeves or beefed up tie rods, because
Yeah.
if you're going down the track with the front wheels pointing towards each other, you're done. I had one too many people almost run over my light when they, snap a front end part, and we're just not doing it. So get your tie rods fixed, lower the front end, and we'll all be happy.
Yeah, I don't understand why they wouldn't do that to begin with.
Me neither.
It's kind of hard to go anywhere when your front tires are towed in.
Yep. Yep.
I guess they don't think about it, or maybe some don't know. I don't know.
Yep. Exactly.
But that's a good thinking there. Yeah. You can't tear equipment up. That's for sure. But that's great, man. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like you got your ducks in a row, and it's gonna be a great show. It sounds like, and
We are so excited, just ready to be able to finally do something.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to miss the first. Where was your first race this year?
It was actually
Undisclosed.
yeah,
Huh?
it was an undisclosed location back
Okay,
in the height of the COVID restrictions. We were able
gotcha.
to in a field in Mexico have a little race. We socially distanced. We had a small field, um, so we had a good time though.
That's good.
That's the perks of knowing some of the biggest farmers in Washington County right there.
Ah, okay.
Washington County, Mexico.
Two
Yeah,
plus
Washington County,
two,
Mexico.
2 + 2 = 4. Okay, I understand now. Well, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. It looks like Mike's not going to help me, so boo.
It's all on you, Tanner.
Yeah, yeah. I hope his parents are moving to Delaware, so he may be stuck moving stuff to Delaware. I don't know. So we'll make something work. But that's really all I have to add. I mean, you have anything, Kendra?
I think I've got all my questions answered.
I'm sure you can think of a few more to hammer him with.
I was going to say, well, the brothers have been doing a pretty good job of feeding me questions throughout.
Okay. Will there be any souvenirs for sale when you
Sure, they
get there?
didn't send me anymore.
Yes, we will have t-shirts, koozies, hats, stickers. We'll have a bunch of stuff available there. Some of our sponsors bring stuff up and set up tents, so I actually haven't even talked to them. I can't guarantee that they will, but yes, we'll have nice Generation Motorsports shirts that say "Let's go racing" on the back. That's kind of our tagline. So yeah, you can pick that stuff up at the race.
Okay, the t-shirts. How much are your t-shirts? Do you know offhand or?
I believe they're 15. We try and keep them affordable.
Yeah, really. That's good. Okay.
Say that's
And then
cheap
Yeah.
for a pulling shirt. What's
So-
not
Yep.
really pulling, but
Are we going
and
to?
then
Are we?
$3 koozies, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
is alcohol allowed on the grounds? Do you know that?
I do not believe it is.
Yeah.
You
do
say
not believe it
koozies,
is.
That's what I think of.
Yeah.
You two keep chatting. I'll check on that real quick. They may have it
Sound
listed on their page for their activities grounds, but
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty sure it is not.
it's kind of not a good mixture.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. We get enough drama as it is without it.
Oh, yes. Aiden just brought up a good point. I know in previous years, I know you guys try to keep drama to a minimum, but I think it's a good point to make, if the driver has a problem, the driver should be the one to come and make a formal complaint, not the driver, his pit crew, his girlfriend's brother, his
One person.
Exactly.
One person.
Yeah, so we have all race decisions are final.
Mhm.
We have the starting lasers and the finish lasers, and we're not going to go against them. But if you do have a complaint, if you know if anything happened that you weren't happy with, you can come and find me. I'm 6'3", so it's kind of hard to miss me. You'll be able to find me. Um, but just like Kendra said, uh, if you come up with your whole posse and you guys are yelling and hollering and like we're not dealing with that. Um, I I've been surrounded by people too many times. I've had my help that's just there because I asked him to be, get surrounded by 10 people that are screaming at him and we're not dealing with it. So I promise if you come to me and calmly talk to me by yourself, we will come up with a resolution. But cooler heads have to prevail.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially the group of people think just the driver. The guy with the
Yep.
complaint, the driver, is all you need. It's the same thing we do in Poland when there's a protest. It's the owners of the vehicles in question and the head tech. That takes and the director, obviously, which would be you.
Yep.
That's all it needs to be involved. You can't get anything accomplished with 10 banshee chickens
Yeah.
running around yapping.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing anything about no alcohol, but I'm sure.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and say
I would
no
say
alcohol
no. Yeah,
allowed.
yeah. And I'm actually looking at a couple of pictures. That's a pretty nice place.
Yep.
I mean, the track just goes and goes and goes. That's really
Yep.
nice. Lots of safe shutdown area. That's good.
Exactly.
So awesome. Yeah, that's going to be. I'll tell you, that place is going to. They're going to get a lot. They're going to get some events there.
This is just the beginning.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you bet. That's great. Before you know it, they'll probably have bleachers. Maybe eventually they'll have light towers and.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's all in the works.
Oh yeah. You got to start somewhere, and it looks like they've got a pretty good little setup there. So can't wait to see it. And Mike, you really messed up, buddy. I've got a stack of NASCAR stuff here that I don't know what I'm going to do with, but well, I won a bid. It's a big shelving unit that hangs on the wall. It's full of Matchbox NASCAR cars.
Okay.
I won a silent auction of it. I had somebody's name on it, but I don't know. He said he's not filming now, so we'll have to see. We'll see how that turns out. But anyway, we're past an hour. By golly, we did manage to get an hour in there.
Yeah, we did it.
Say, I can talk about anything for an hour. Don't you forget it.
Oh boy. But anyway, yeah, make plans, man. Come on down. You know, I mean, even if you're in my area here, it's 2.5 hours to get there. It's a nice drive out through the country once you get off the highway. So it's not too far south of McConnellsburg, if you're familiar with that. And,
about 15 minutes.
20
yeah. minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can either go the north route or the south route. I ain't sure which one I'm going to take yet. But actually, it says the north route, believe it or not, is closer for me. I don't know how. I live in Maryland, but we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. 5:30, guys, gals. Just come out, no alcohol, have fun, watch a good old down-home drag racing. What the heck?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Nothing else to do on a Saturday night in October, right?
Well, I don't know of any other pulling going on.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been throwing the word around a little bit. I don't know of any. I mean, there might be something still straggling around there, but we're going to go drag racing this Saturday, by golly.
Yep.
And we're going to have fun. So, okay. Anything else you want to add, Chet? You got anything else to say? Or
I don't think so. Thank you for having me on, and
absolutely.
Look forward to seeing you in a couple days.
Yeah, the show, absolutely. Yeah, the show get hits throughout the rest of the week. People will be visiting, so they'll get the information. The information's on the screen. They ain't even got to have the volume on. They can see what they need to see. So, but okay, we appreciate you coming on, and this is just the beginning for Kendra and I for having somebody on as an interview, because as we all said, the pulling season is coming to an end. The drag racing season, we're going to include that too, is coming to an end. So we got to start getting some people on here to talk, and we've enjoyed talking to Chet tonight. And, if it was that easy to fill a 1 hour slot, I'm sure we get a puller on here that we really know real good on my end and start jabbing at them. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. So.
Yep.
But it's been good talking to Chet. And Generation Motorsports, Saturday, October 24th, 5:30 p.m., 994 North Foster Road, Needmore, Pennsylvania. Come on out. It's $10. Children 12 and under are free. Racers $25. Winner take all, $1,000, man. So sounds like these boys have got their act together, and I'm looking forward to a great drag racing show. So, Kendra, anything you want to add?
Nope, I'm good. I'm done. I've talked for my hour. I'm done.
Okay.
No more.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we'll like, subscribe, share, give us some thumbs up, and be sure to check out generationmotorsports.wordpress.com online. Read the rules if you want to come drag racing, and particularly read the rules how to conduct yourself when you're not on a track racing, please. And Facebook at Generation Motorsports as well. So till then, I think I'm going to go ahead and say something about Keystone Nationals. We were supposed to have a meeting tonight. Some other things come up for some other people. So that has been pushed at least till next Wednesday. This is 3 weeks now we've been talking about it, but it's coming. We're going to have a meeting to discuss our options for the show. And we're thinking it's probably going to happen next Wednesday. If that happens, same old, we'll see you next Thursday at 8 o'clock. I don't know what we'll have in store. We'll come up with something for you. We'll talk some drag racing, and maybe we'll find out of a pool or something that's coming up. Maybe we'll talk about that or something. But I'm sure we'll fill an hour. We'll do something. So
Yep.
Maybe I'll get a puller on here by then. Maybe we'll put Kendra on somebody and get somebody on here.
Oh boy.
Sure, why not? So until then, we'll hopefully see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. If not Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. So we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be right back with you guys.